Wall Street Memes Casino,
I'm fine.
and Sportsbook.
This is KUGAN CASSIUS for IFLTV. We are in Abu Dhabi here, ahead of Rising Stars show on Saturday, live on the Zone. Delighted to be joined by Gareth A.Davies. I spent a whole week with you last week, and now I'm here again in Abu Dhabi with you.
It's amazing, isn't it? And then we're going to be back in Riyadh next week for 5v5.
That's a long time.
It's a long time. It's where the bromances are made.
Let's talk about Rising Stars. Obviously, a relatively new concept out here in Dubai, where we're
in the Emirates. Anyway,
yeah, in the Emirates, yeah, where we're seeing some of the best local talent there is here, and these Rising Star shows are creating a platform for these boxers to progress to, you know.
Could you be quiet, please? Sorry.
Progress on to, you know, wider things. I think that's fair to say.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is like, it literally is Rising Stars Arabia. I mean, I think this is my third event I've worked with them. It's on DAZN International on Saturday night. Myself and Anthony Croller I'm doing the presenting. We'll do co-coms together, and I'll do the post-fight interviews. Really looking forward to it. Amir Siddiqui's doing a great job here with his promotion. They've got a great commission. A lot of WBC officials work with it. People like Mike Hale, who judges, and they've just got a great group working together. And I think it'll fall under the umbrella. My belief is it'll fall under the umbrella eventually of Turki Al-Sheikh, His Excellency. And I think what they'll do eventually is have Emiratis against Saudis, Jordanians against Syrians, Syrians against Saudis. I think it'll really grow. Saudi's doing its thing on its own at the moment. I'm really looking for, I've got the card here. Sultan Al-Nuami is a brilliant super flyweight. Really looking forward to him fighting. I've already met him in the lobby. You'll probably speak to him later. You know him. Badr Samreen of Jordan is literally one of the rising stars of the region. Both these guys are 10-0, by the way. Sultan's 11-0. And he's really come through some torrid fights as well. Badr Samreen, the lightweight, is a great boxer. Really, genuinely one of the stars of the zone, of the territory. But also on the card is Tony Curtis, the 17-year-old Brit, who's now Muslim and lives over here a lot. He converted to Islam a couple of years ago. I've just been with his dad and his bad man. Obviously, they're from Kent. And he's at 17, he's the youngest pro in the UK. And try and get him in the Talk Sports studio soon. But yeah, really looking forward to it. It's the 42 arena. I've got to go over and do all the pre-filming later today. They're always really entertaining cards. I think we've got India, Morocco, Jordan, Uganda, Lebanon, UAE, Egypt, UK, Syria, Kuwait, Pakistan, Tanzania, France and China and Panama are on the card. It's so global. It's such great fun. They're all absolute kind of warriors as well. This is their chance to shine. And it's a brilliant sign. You've been at several of these. I think they've had 7 or 8 now. These guys are going great guns with it. Congratulations to them. It's great to be involved.
Make sure you tune in if you're not in Dubai.
It's on DAZN.
Sorry, Abu Dhabi. Keep saying Dubai.
Yeah, we're in Abu Dhabi, yeah.
But live on DAZN, absolutely. Gareth, it's been a few days now since a quite dramatic night, in Riyadh on Saturday. We've spoken a few times, obviously, since then, but have you kind of seen the aftermath, if you like, of Tyson Fury's first ever loss as a professional? Yeah, I mean, how do you kind of reflect on it?
I've got my voice back, first of all, which is the most important thing right now. What I've also decided to do is not watch the fight till I go back to the UK. I'm going to have it as I scored it, 114, 113 for Alexander Usyk. I thought he was brilliant on the night. I thought it was a seesawing fight. It was a phenomenal fight, befitting of an undisputed title. I think Mark Nelson kept the fight alive in that 9th round. Some people were saying it should have been stopped. But I think Fury proved in the 10th, 11th and 12th that he wasn't out. And I think there would have been less satisfaction ultimately, maybe even for Usyk, if the fight had been stopped. No, maybe I'm wrong about that. It would have been more satisfying for him to stop Fury in the 9th. But it was an epic encounter because it went 12. My scoring for the record: Usyk the first round, Fury the next 5, Usyk 7-8, 9, 9 being a 10-8, obviously. Fury won the 12th and Usyk the 10th and 11th. And that made it 114, 113 for Usyk. Thought he was a worthy winner. I could have seen a draw. The judges agreed on 8 of the 12 rounds. There were 4 swing rounds. On the eye test, Usyk won the fight. But you've got to score it round by round. And some people had it for Fury. I've spoken to a lot of different people. A lot of people have it for Usyk. Some people have it for Fury. It's going to be very tough for him right now. The fallout is enormous. The hubris is enormous because of the way he projects, you know, with his showboating and the way he is, the silly sausage, the rabbit, the way he sells a fight. When you fall, the impact on you is that much greater. The criticism of you is that much greater. John losing it on the Monday, the criticism is greater. And I'm kind of preempting your questions here, but it's kind of like, what next now is what I'm thinking about for Fury. Where is he? We all leave these guys alone for a couple of days because they have to regather their thoughts, how they are. But I'm fascinated with the next move.
It's interesting because we know after Tyson's first high of his career, after the Klitschko win, we kind of saw what happened there. Tyson was not in a good place, and that was after reaching a peak where no one thought that he was going to beat Klitschko. Yes. So this is a completely different situation where he hasn't reached that peak and he's suffered his first loss in professional boxing. I mean, is it difficult to say?
No, the opposite. He's going to be motivated. It's the opposite. He's not on a high. He's going to, obviously going back to his pregnant wife, Paris, the family will all come around him. He'll watch the fight back eventually if he hasn't already. And he'll look at where it went wrong from 7 onwards. Because there was a moment in the 6th where along press row and along broadcast row, everyone was going, he's going to stop Usyk in a minute. He's going to beat him up. There was that feeling, ringside anyway. And it wasn't just me, it was many people. And there's enough in there for him to go again and look at being aggressive against Usyk. He may go out on his shield this time. He may lose again. But I think, I personally, I'm not mooching around inside his head now. I've spoken to his management team. He's fine. He's down about it. But rather than this enormous high, then to do the bins and the dog and the secret place to walk the dog, he's going to have it on his mind now, really needs to get revenge. Or he's had enough. He earns an enormous purse, but I think he's a fighting man. When the dust settles, I think he'll take the rematch. And I think he'll go out on his shield, whatever happens in the second fight. October might be a little early, because they've both been through a lot. I could see November, but I do see them fighting again. Do you?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's difficult to kind of be in Tyson's head now, which we don't need to go into, but to see where he's at, kind of only.
It's the opposite, yeah. I think, of what you're suggesting.
I don't see him retiring.
No,
I think that he will 100% take this rematch. He's not been in this situation before, and I also like to think that what you're saying is accurate. That he'll like to, right, that was then, where did it go wrong, put it right, and then go and beat him in the rematch. You know? There's
lots of things that they can pick apart. There's criticism of too many people talking in the corner. There's the fact that he almost there's that expression in boxing where you can get greedy, you can get too comfortable for your own good. And, he fell victim to that pressing style that Usyk had from the whole fight, really, where he was looking for 3 punches, the left cross, the left hook notably, and that's what did the damage in that 9th round. And the nose, obviously, in the 8th. I spoke to Frank Hopkins as well, his cut man, Frank, 80-year-old Frank. And he said once he got the blood out in the 8th, he was fine. It said blood literally poured out in the 8th and there was no more blood. And Frank knows his onions. Old horse dealer and car dealer in the past. Tony Oakey's guy. Yeah, it was just fascinating. It was an amazing event. And I'm delighted that in the last 3 weeks we've had 3 undisputed title fights. And people really enjoyed the fight. All the people that I work with on a sports basis, my editors at the Telegraph, everyone feels like it delivered. Excuse me. Everyone feels like it delivered. And it did. It was dramatic. It was pageantry. Usyk was amazing coming out. Tyson did his thing. He was amazing. It was a great event. The atmosphere was just off the charts. Loads of stars there all week. That was brilliant. It was, and you know, well done the Saudi Arabians again. Well done His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh for making it happen. And I think the thing is now how it throws forward. Because if Fury loses to Usyk, he probably won't fight again. I don't think we'll see Joshua. But if he beats Usyk, there's a Usyk trilogy, you know, and there's a Joshua fight in the middle, in my view. Because if he beats Usyk in the rematch, and now I make Usyk a marginal favourite, his body's holding up better. And Usyk went through a lot of pain in that fight as well. You know, Usyk could walk away right now if he wants to, but I think the pots of gold, the purses are so large for them, the temptation is to go again. But it's a great position to be in.
Gareth, Alexander Usyk, been put top of the Ring Magazine pound for pound. Is he currently #1 pound for pound in your opinion?
Yeah, I think based on that performance against Fury, how he came back in the fight, there's a very strong argument to put him up there. I mean, I had Naoya Inoue as #1 2 weeks ago. But I think the magnitude of Usyk's victory, the fact he's undisputed in 2 weight divisions, along with, who else has done it? Terence Crawford and... Terence Crawford, Naoya Inoue, and now Usyk. I mean, the majesty of it. You know, I did an article on the 6 of the best undisputed champions of the last 50 years. You know, and I've gone Lennox, Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson, or George Foreman, Mike Tyson, Evander Holyfield, and Alexander Usyk. I think he belongs in that. What a pantheon to be in. You know, what a group to be in. Would he have beaten those other 5? I'm not sure, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, but look, you can place him at #1 pound for pound right now. It doesn't surprise me that the Ring Magazine have done that. It was the manner of the victory as much as the victory itself. It was just extraordinary.
I know you've said on countless times this week you don't see that AJ Fury fight happening anytime soon.
No, I think...
Whatever, or...?
I think if Fury were to lose the second fight with Usyk, if he takes that fight, I don't think he'll fight AJ. I may be wrong. The temptation will be $100 million or whatever it'll be. It's incredible when you think how much money could be available. Depends how much he's got left. If he fights Usyk again, how hard that 12 rounds is going to be. Whatever happens, I think Joshua's going to have a third Usyk fight at some point. He's desperate for that. I'd love to see Fury and Joshua fight, but I think if Fury does beat Usyk in the second fight, I think they'll tempt him back. But if he loses, I don't think we'll see it. I really don't. And right now, I will make Usyk the favourite, the marginal favourite in the second fight.
Okay, Gareth A.Davies, appreciate your time as always.
My pleasure, always.
We look forward to a great night in Abu Dhabi this Saturday, again live on DAZN.
International Rising Stars Arabia.
Rising Stars. Make sure you check that out. And Gareth, we're out.
Boom.
Wall Street Memes Casino,
I'm fine.
and Sportsbook.